Here we are, guys, jumping into the game. Let's switch that up. Let's get everybody where they should be. This is the top lane. I'm going on the assumption that Trust and Tay on that Lulu will be going top lane. But you see, everybody takes kind of their time to buy. Ping's going down on the map from both teams as they posture for the early game, dropping down some early wards. Now this pickup from Thresh, starting with that Ruby Crystal, is actually quite interesting. This kind of begs me to believe that they want to be aggressive in that lane because he will be behind. If they don't make something happen in the bot lane, they will be behind, or he will be behind because he doesn't have that a gold generating item. Ping's going down for both teams and early wards, protecting the junglers from the start. So from just how Riven and Lulu are positioned here, I feel like they are going to do that switch with the top laners. Tay will be taking mid from Intoxic, from the Riven, who usually is their mid player. Which will give some kill potential in that top lane. Oh, Riven face checking the Tribush, putting up some poke on that Nasus, replying with that Q. I feel like having that Riven in the top lane versus that Nasus does give some kill potential on that Nasus, but then it also makes this a lot harder for Tay going against that Yasuo. That exhaust is definitely going to help. When wind wall is down, there is going to be poke potential there, but I don't know. We'll just have to see if VK's wind wall are going to be spot on. Early aggression coming up from Riven in the top lane. Everyone kind of just settling into a rhythm in the first. I will be wanting to watch this bot lane, actually. Yasuo trying to put down some poke. Tay kiting back. I do want to be watching this this bot lane, though, because, again, of that Ruby Crystal pickup, Tristana going in, putting heavy damage on Severe. Exhaust already going down, forcing her back. So much action happening on the map right now. Lulu and Yasuo exchanging blows in the mid lane. Exhaust has been used up in the bot lane, as well as did... No, so both heals and flashes are up for the ADC. Only the exhaust have been burned by that Thresh, which begs, like, they're just not going to be able to do anything in the bot lane. I feel like Thresh, they're not going to get an early kill here. Maokai just happily jungle, pokes up top to see if there's any kill potential whatsoever, but Riven has pushed up to Nasus's tower. Again, they're trying to make something happen, but as long as Severe stays safe, that Janna shield, which she did level up first, is going to keep her safe. Janna still has her exhaust, as well as both their flashes on VK. Yasuo trying to again poke down Lulu in the mid lane. He is quite low on mana, so needs to play it a little bit safe. Pantheon lurking, making his way up top. Since Nasus did push out from under his turret. Maokai waiting in the wings mid, Pantheon though is coming down, isn't willing to commit to that twisted advance. Pantheon trying to wait again in the wings for Maokai to leave the gank to the counter gank. Let's see if anything happens here. Comes out of the woodwork. Will he get the knockup and stun? No. Taylor should be quite safe. Thorvishley coming up, but again, those double shields from bot lane is making Sivir a really, really beefy target to kill. And I don't think they're going to get anything early from here. Thresh, with all this continued pressure, though, is letting Trist farm up quite a storm. But Riven getting caught out with that Wither, Nasus being able to put quite a bunch of damage on that Riven. Has to... Oh, I probably should switch it up. Burn through all the pots. Triss wards just in time to see that Pantheon ulti. As they go in, forcing Thresh to flash away, or else he would have gotten knocked up by that tornado, leading up to a Panth stun. Again, just farming. Riven focusing a little too much on that poke, giving up some of that farm. Is forced to back now. The sustain of Nasus early on is just really, really strong, and he's been able to free farm quite freely up there. Maokai might want to look and see if they can put some pressure on him in the top lane, make him panic just a bit. The farm for the ADCs is tremendously close. It is actually even for both of them. So it is going to be up to the junglers to make something happen in this matchup. Just again, because Triss might have the range, but she doesn't have it at the start. Again, poke coming on Sivir. But again, that Janna shield is just very, very strong in the early game. Well, just strong in general. But especially now that Trist has yet to build up any meaningful damage. The Yasuo coming down from mid. Pings already going down for TWC. So bot lane should know. Yasuo waiting in that tri-bush. But he is sitting on top of a ward. TWC just trying to waste as much time as possible for that Yasuo. Tay able to push that cannon minion. I believe Yasuo is going to miss this, which is huge considering the fact that should be taking advantage of every farm. Lulu poking the big scary Nasus. His ulti has been popped though. I missed that exchange up top from that Riven. Yasuo again pushing his lane, and oh, he was going to roam down bottom, but decides, no, I want these Wraiths instead. Will Maokai hand over the blue? No, not just yet. Maokai still wants that blue buff for himself, which is fine. Taylor now has his Chalice, which will be okay for his mana. He can just continuously poke. Maokai and Pantheon meet each other in the jungle. Throws out a sapling as a warning. Again, this top lane, this in general, it has to be expected. I almost feel like Riven could have been a little bit more aggressive in the top lane. Maokai now coming, trying to support, but Nasus just sniffs it out. He used his dog nose and just knew something was wanting to happen. as I was saying before, I feel like Riven could have put some really early pressure on that Nasus, maybe at level 2, maybe at level 3. With the help of their jungler, they could have made that, turned that into kill, but now she is 20 CS behind. And honestly, that's huge in the top lane. That's a kill within herself. Now she's going aggressive on him, but his ulti is back. Instead, he uses his Q on a minion. That was a misclick, and has to run back to his tower. Yeah, so getting aggro on the mid lane. Um, Still not willing to pull that trigger on the ulti yet. Doesn't believe he can kill Lulu. Oh, forcing Lulu to pop that ulti. But he pulls the trigger anyway, does barely any damage because of that exhaust and the flash. But here comes the man drop. Great monsoon by Janna. And that's first blood on VK Gaming. There's so much damage coming in from the TP Riven. But Pantheon just cleans up Riven, stunning her. He will be okay, though. Oh no, Pantheon falls. That was severe. They are wanting to dive this. Twisted advance from Maokai cleans up that Sivir. And I can see Janna saying goodbye to Trist. Overall, both that TP from Riven saved that exchange. If she didn't, TWC would have been really behind. Though I don't know, like, at what cost. She is already behind in farm, and because Nasus didn't TP down, or his TP was on cooldown, he just extends his farm lead. So that exchange, I don't know if it was worth it, guys. I really don't. The gold advantage for just from farm alone goes to VK, which is substantial considering the fact that TWC is up by a kill. It's going to come down now to that first dragon. Pings are going down from TWC. They know that VK is in a position to do it. Pantheon is hanging around and warding up. Pinks for VK and vision on that dragon is just far superior to TWC, who have put most of their wards up actually deep in VK's red. But here comes a gank from Maokai. Twisted advance holds up Nasus, but he will just flash away from it, having his ulti back up. And first dragon will go to VK, extending their gold lead by 2k here at the 12-minute mark. Yasuo returning back into lane. Put some poke down. Here comes the man drop again. Triss getting caught out, getting split by Thresh and not taking the dark passage. Instead opting up to jump away into the river. But she dies. She was better off taking that lantern or jumping towards that lantern. TWC trying to answer in the mid lane. A big burst happening from Maokai to the advance, but that's not going to opt out. There's an exchange up top too, both of them getting very, very low, but again, just so much damage coming out, but no kills coming out for either side. Ulti coming from Lulu with his two men. Yasuo and Panth just absolutely ridiculously strong, with the Yasuo already having a Shiv and the farm advantage as well. The warding from VK in that bottom half of the map is absolutely fantastic. Yasuo pulls the trigger, but the exhaust just stunts his damage. Lulu making it out alive, just barely. The ignite also goes down from Yasuo, but it isn't enough, and Lulu sustains through that. But look at this warding from VK. It's absolutely ridiculous. They're trying to make plays. on that Tristana because they know that she can be a threat and they're trying to nip it in the bud. But TWC, instead of answering the call bot lane, their jungler, Maokai is trying to make plays mid and top, trying to snowball those lanes, in which case I don't agree with, because Trist is going to be the key to this, to their comp. If Trist can get big, they will be in a very good position to win. The thing that VK is missing, besides that Nasus, and he will be split pushing most of the game, is a tank. So as long as Nasus is not there, Triss can just go to work. I have yet to see a good wind wall from Yasuo, which just makes Lulu able to poke him in lane. They are just losing in farm straight clear through the board. Like, they are, I don't know, VK is just playing out this early game so much better than TWC. The Flay does come back from Thresh, putting some damage down, but again, the trigger is pulled, man drop comes, flash from Thresh, he goes back in, but the TP coming in from Nasus, that's a 4-man push down in the bot lane. Nasus gets hooked, the late response from Riven, will it be enough? Both ultis pop early for the top laners. Just massive amounts of damage everywhere. The flash initiation, that's going to be a triple kill for VK. Wow, I don't even know how, there was just so much going on there. But VK comes up ahead. Dragon in just under 2 minutes, but VK grabs that turret and grabs 4 kills? 4 kills to 2 in that exchange. Yasuo 1-1, Sivir 2-1-5. All the people that VK need to get big are getting big. And I don't know if TWC has an answer to this. The teleports have been on point. The man drops have been relentless on that bot lane, and Riven and Maokai are just nowhere to be seen. The delayed teleport from Riven, I guess that's some indecision on whether or not the supports meet each other. Thresh will hook Lulu and Maokai there for support, but I don't think anything's gonna happen from it as they just disengage. TWC need to make something happen. They need to go on the aggressive, because if they just back up and not do anything, they are just going to slowly bleed turrets. Pantheon getting caught, the Monsoon pushes everyone back, but the ulti from Triss and the cleanup from Lulu is enough to bring him down. They are chasing that Janna. Never a good option. But they are starting to take control. Since Dragon just spawned, they will be able to grab that Dragon. VK is trying to contest it, but they don't have a smite. Pantheon was caught. Nice boomerang from Sivir. It wasn't enough though. Maokai's smite was on point. Nas is just pushing the top lane. Now his CS lead is up by 30 and just continuing to grow. He has that Sheen already and that Glacial Shroud. So he is really tanky. I don't know if oh, but here comes Maokai with the twisted advance. Knock up stun from Riven. Nasus does pop his ulti and is attempting to just walk out of there, which He will. He does turn around, baits the Maokai to an advance, and buys enough time for Yasuo. Yasuo doesn't know, can't make up his mind, does go on the Riven, which better choice, he picks that up, and gets a double kill top lane. Just the absolute sheer mobility and damage coming out from VK is almost, I think, just too much for TWC to handle. Top lane turret goes down, increasing VK's lead by 5k. Then the mid goes down simultaneously as well. And I don't know what to say. TWC is just losing on all fronts. They don't know how to allocate their players. Again, I was scared of this comp. This comp was protect the Trist and hope that Riven and her get both into late game to become powerhouses, and VK is not letting them at all. They lost the farm game. They lost the objective game. The rotations, pulling a Monty, like the rotations for VK are on point. You know, top turret and middle turret going down simultaneously, and with no answer from TWC, the push from Nasus and Yasuo gets that second tier top. They are in a position to take a very early Baron when it spawns. Well, it already spawned, but they're in a very good position to take a 25-minute Baron, which can only spell disaster for TWC, because as you can see in the ward control, they don't have any wards on Baron. They were very, very late to the ward game. There was so much domination from VK warding that bottom, taking control of that very early dragon, and the just consistent ganks from Pantheon and the roaming Yasuo, which paid off. That's not to say that Maokai hasn't been ganking. He's been ganking, but again, Maokai is a utility jungler. There is no damage coming out, and with, you know, a Lulu in the lane, she doesn't get scary until very late, until she gets her AP items. The death cap now finished for Lulu, and hopefully she can make something happen with that. But just from ADCs alone, Sivir is a full item up on Tristana. Tristana just sitting on that IE, while Trist has the Zeal along with a Vamp Scepter already. Again, VK just in the this is their game to lose. It looks like they're playing it very safe though. They do have that Nasus pushing up top, has his teleport, and roaming push, 4-man push in mid. TWC is bringing that Riven up there to try to hold off that Nasus, but this entire game she has been losing to that Nasus consistently, so she is in no position to just 1v1 him. The Thresh hook though lands, putting a ton of damage on that Panth. They will have to back up from that. The siege is broken mid. Flash is coming down. Nasus might get sandwiched, but he is so big. He's buying so much time for his team. His team nowhere near though, and can't capitalize on that. They were already disengaging because of Panth being so low. Panth's man drop is on cooldown, so if they can buy time, TWC is very, very low on 3 of their members. They can continue this push. Hook landing on Yasuo, but again, they are very low. They can't go in on this. It's just, it would be suicide. The man drop comes from Pantheon, the ulti from Yasuo, knocking up Maokai, the wrong target, and VK diving very hard and paying for it. That was not smart. A little bit of miscommunication there. But the TP coming back from Nasus, he is full health, and they're just going to continue this siege in mid. And I don't think TWC has an answer for this. TWC is on the cusp of losing their first game of this tournament. Uh, VK playing it safe. They got, they opened the gates of mid. Then inhib exposed. Dragon is live. They are backing out, wanting to secure those objectives. Panth is pinging for it. But Sivir is backing. Yasuo making his way down mid lane to support. With Sivir back, TWC can capitalize on this and grab a dragon for free. All 5 of them are here. Wards being cleared out. VK should know that this is happening and they should be pushing down mid hard. But they are not. They're a little indecisive. They're just waiting for everyone to group up. Yasuo by himself up here. A little cocky, but that damage is no joke coming from him. Sivir and Yasuo turning on that Maokai. The trigger is pulled. Even Lulu's Hugify is not enough, and she will fall down to that Yasuo's mobility. Yasuo is just such a dangerous champion. And VK is now looking towards Baron. With the jungler dead for TWC, this is going to be a free Baron. TWC would be suicidal for them to try to contest this, and they are not even on a position to contest this. All 5 members of VK now grouped up in the Baron pit, and TWC just is. They know now. Ward from Riven and the face check from Thresh see that they just lost Baron, and again, it's 26 minutes. I was a minute off, but that is a very, very early Baron that goes to VK. Again, I feel like TWC is just one step behind on their warding. When an objective comes up, I feel that VK already has preemptive wards for that objective, and then TWC is trying to scramble for it. It also is probably to the fact that TWC only has 2 sweepers, whereas VK has 3. They're just denying so much vision from TWC that it almost feels like TWC isn't necessarily warding where they should, but they are. VK is just then going out and clearing it. Their denial of vision has been very, very good this entire game. Again, warding the lanes where they wanted to put pressure on just gave them a huge total advantage and shut down that bottom lane. Tristana is trying to farm. That static shiv was very late coming out of her. I believe she just finished it around 3 minutes ago. And she just hasn't been able to farm since. The farm for the ADCs is very, very close. They're almost neck and neck. It's just that Sivir has more chances to participate in kills for her team. The gold lead now is almost 10k for VK. And again, this is just their game to lose. And so far, they're just playing this out by the book. Nasus is still split pushing, relentless to the top. He knows that Riven can't contest him now. He has that Glacial Shot, he has that Spirit Visage, he has that Sheen. TWC has to commit 2 players to try to hold off that Nasus, but then that just means bot is cannot be defended. Nasus wailing away at this. Riven, all she can do is just clear the minions and hope that, the 100th tower shot will bring down this Nasus. 4 versus 4 down here in the bot lane, but VK does have Baron, and they are just so much stronger. waiting for that minion wave. Nasus now rotating to mid. With that down inhib, they will have to commit a large portion to stop him from grabbing that inhib. Now only 2 people left. Bottom lane, Maokai rotating down with Riven as well. But again, that leaves Nasus to push in that next wave. And they're just slowly trying to pick TWC apart. Nasus finally working away at that inhib. He's playing it safe, trying to lure them away so that they can open bot lane. Mid inhib is it's falling tremendously low. The dance from Sivir distracted me. And Nasus gets a free inhib. They're just so busy. They know that if they commit any amount of resource to Nasus, they're just going to lose bottom. It's TWC is against a rock and a hard place. They do catch Janna out, but again, the shield, a little bit of lag there. The talisman getting popped to disengage, but then them turning around and facing with a flank from Pantheon, and they just clean house, and that is game. That is game. The man drop comes from Pantheon, not needed. Lulu just getting ripped apart by that farm Nasus Q. How many stacks does he have? He has 421. That is just absolutely a beast right now. And first game goes to VK. TWC loses their first map of the tournament.